Hearth Warming Eve, Princess Promenade, by Cloud Wander. Chapter 4, the opening.
Appetizers! Appetizer! Boy, they are good on a Tuesday night.
Standing in our stall near Ponyville Town Hall, Granny Smith hung her shawl around her and grinned at the happy theater crowd.
All right, friends, it's good in the winter and hot cider. Well, it just ain't a good evening without hot cider.
Mrs. Smith, I am appalled, declared Rarity the Unicorn, before Granny Smith's cot.
You're what now? An apple?
Asked Granny Smith. Rarity trotted around Granny Smith's cart, threw off her long, warm cape, and tossed it over the older pony.
There now,
Rarity said, tucking the edges of her cloak around Granny Smith. Isn't that better?
Oh, I was looking for, as long as the zebra wolves ain't buying, I's got no complaints,
said Granny Smith, as he pulled the cloak around more tightly around her. As he squinted up at Rarity.
Hey, ain't you that fancy lady that's good friends with my granddaughter? Well, she dotes on you. You should come over to the house sometime. We'd love to entertain you. We just kind of a quiet time around us. You might never guess it, but Blake Meyer can talk slings. That's right, him and Apple William, they're quite a pair. Applejack is good on a harpsichord and a banjo, but not like a mom and pa. Rest 'em. I do my best to keep up, but these tired old hooves, well, they ain't too cooperative. I still miss my muster. Oh, he was a stallion to consider. So big and fine. Especially miss him this time of year. What can I get you, dear? Granny Smith asked. He's a sun apples, I'm afraid, since the trees are sleeping. But the side of the fritters are first rate.
Rarity glanced down at her hooves, dressed in splendid shoes of silver, then looked at Granny Smith.
Oh, Mrs. Smith, I am so glad you're here, Rarity said. I have been so stupid. Oh, the shame. I have completely neglected the needs of the play's cast and crew. I forgot about the catering. How ridiculous of me. Would you, I beg you, bring your cot inside the hall? The children, the cast, the crew will be so thirsty and hungry during and after the show. Please, won't you come with me? I only have a little to offer.
Rarity levitated 3 gold solars from her purse and deposited them before Granny Smith. Granny Smith's eyes lit up.
And it would mean so much to the company, to the children, if you would,
pleaded Rarity.
Well, all right,
said Granny Smith. Rarity helped Granny Smith maneuver her little cart to the stage door. Once inside, the two of them set up a little concession area for the company. It only took a moment for the members of the cast and crew to show up and help themselves.
Thank you so much for your help, Mrs. Smith, Rarity said. I can't imagine what I would have done without you. Well, I was kind of hoping to see the show, Granny Smith said. But both of my granddaughters are in it. That's right. And Big and Macintosh. Well, he's busy moving the heavy sets around. I hope I still can find a seat.
Rarity smiled.
I know of one empty seat. Go with me, dear. Let's see if you like it.
And so, Rarity the Unicorn gently escorted Granny Smith to her proper place, a seat at the front of the princess's booth. The night into play, as the theater slowly filled with eager ponies, Octavia's quartet focused on the soothing variations of Patsy Bell's Canon in D, warming up her strings for the musical challenges to come. Despite the tranquil music, there was, understandably, some commotion when the Lord of Chaos entered the theater. Discord, clad in a purple hat and tails, waded through the crowd, grated toothily. Fluttershy held his arm, trying to reassure every pony. As the pair approached their seats in the front row, Director Dash flew out of the wings to confront them. "What are you up to, Discord?" challenged Rainbow Dash. "Why, I'm only here to enjoy the play," said Discord. He consulted his program. Hearth Warming Evil. Sounds delightful. The title is Hearth Warming Eve, shouted Rainbow Dash. Discord blinked. He looked at his program and turned it right side up. "Why, you are correct," he said, squinting at the program. Discord turned to Fluttershy sadly. "Not even one little zombie?"
No, I'm afraid not,
Fluttershy said, placing one hoof upon his lying paw.
Maybe next time.
"You better not try anything," warned Rainbow Dash. "I got my eye on you, Discord." Discord haughtily adjusted the monocle in his right eye, then the second monocle in his left eye. He put on his pince nez to adjust his third and fourth eyes. Then he settles his glasses over his fifth and sixth eyes. "I don't know," Discord says. "Sometimes I just want to make a spectacle of myself." His head snapped back to his usual binocular form. He grinned wolfishly and winked at Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash nodded. "Remember, I'm counting on your good behavior. You better watch him, Fluttershy," he said, and then fled away backstage.
Oh, my,
Fluttershy said.
Don't worry, Discord. I think she's just a little nervous right now about her play. Oh, here are our seats. Right down in front, just like you wanted.
Discord and Fluttershy took their seats, front row of center. Discord used the opportunity to stretch his legs, stretching them until they rested on the top of the stage. Ah, that's nice, he said, wiggling his odd number of toes. You know, until you have been encased in stone for 1,000 years, you don't really appreciate flexibility.
Discord,
Said Fluttershy.
if you could straighten out just a teensy bit, it would help every pony behind you see the stage.
Discord twisted around. The seats immediately around the Lord of Chaos were strangely empty. Still, there were a few ponies behind him courageous enough to look annoyed. Oh, how thoughtless of me, said Discord. Thank you, dear Fluttershy, for your advice. Discord shrank down to the size of a young colt. Unfortunately, as he became smaller, his top hat grew taller, so he still blocked a few of the ponies behind him.
Perhaps you could take off your top hat,
Suggested Fluttershy. Discord said in a squeaky, childless voice.
A little creature prefers a tapo. You wound me, Fluttershy. Still, as a friend, I will accompany you.
Discord removed his top hat, was immediately telescoped down to normal size. Perched atop Discord's head was a very confused-looking rabbit.
Angel?
As far as I'm concerned. Discord glanced up. Ah, there you are, my little friend. I wonder where you had gotten to. Oh, you seem lost. Here, let me help. Discord grabbed the Angel Bunny with his eagle claw and threw him into the top hat. Discord then tossed the top hat into the air, where it disappeared. Voila! Announced Discord with satisfaction. Home again, tickety-tig. Fluttershy patted Discord's lion paw.
Thank you, Discord. You are a good friend.
Discord gave Fluttershy a sideways glance. I'm trying, Fluttershy. For your sake, I'm trying. Fluttershy beamed. Discord slouched in his seat. Bored now, let's get on with this, he said. From the air, he produced a lollipop as large as his head and licked at it, sulking. Director Dash turned to Octavia. Octavia nodded and relayed the message to Fido up in the booth and to the other members of her quartet. The strings fell silent for a moment, then struck up the traditional opening to Hearth Warming Eve. The lights in the theater dimmed. The ponies quickly scrambled to their seats. A brave few even sat close to Discord. The crowd settled, and the play began. Chapter 5. The Mysterious Stranger and the Ride of the Valkyries. To her credit, Madame Mayor Marigold did a great job of getting the play started. Almost every pony in Ponyville that wasn't in the cast or crew was there in the audience. Yet, she wasn't intimidated a bit. She trotted on stage, full of confidence. Octavia's quartet quieted. Spike had, happily, talked Madame Mayor out of the bells and Muttley that she had originally selected for her costume. A jester just isn't quite the same as a minstrel, he explained, presently. Marigold, clad in emerald and sporting a smart cap with a jaunty red feather, hit her mark and declared, Playgoers, I bid you welcome on this Hearth Warming Eve. Let us to reflect on our history and rejoice. For this is the tale of all of us, of you and I and every pony you know. And it begins no more than this. Once upon a time. And so, Marigold spun the tale of Hearth Warming Eve, of the distrust between tribes, when the Earth folk desperately courted the favor of the Sky folk in hope of rain, and lived in terror of the Magic folk, who controlled the day and night. Diamond Tiara broke character and waved to her father, Filthy Rich, who waved back, proud of his little girl. Marigold told of the onset of the Finumbu weather, of the desperation of the Earth ponies, bowed under the weight of snow, of the confusion of the Pegasi, lost in a sky that had suddenly become hostile and strange, of the bewilderment of the unicorns, who burrowed into their books but could find no answers. Then the tumultuous summit, the hope of the three tribes, which ended in confusion and terror. At last, the painful decision to abandon home, hearth and field, and strike out into new lands. Yet, even as the time of the great migration of the three tribes began, the fate of all ponykind turned on the events of Unicornia, where, in a black cavern beneath the castle of the Unicorn King, dire deeds were unfolding. The stage was black. Slowly, a gray light illuminated a still figure center stage. The figure, bound and hooded, stirred slowly, and then jerked into awareness. The figure struggled uselessly for a time. Then calm, it tilted its head as if listening. Whoever you are, she shouted, I trust you untie me. I am Clover, advisor to the Unicorn King, and apprentice to Starswell the Bearded. I caution you, and they will be angered by my abduction, and I, blinded and bound though I am not without resources. You would be well advised to release me at once. Do you hear? Answer! Are you there? Do not risk my anger. It is terrible! A feminine voice, silky, mocking, floated along the stage.
Threats do not suit you, Clover the Clever, she said. You are well known to be reasonable and kind-hearted. Your threats have no teeth.
A heavily looking cape, vague in the dim light, faced closely behind helpless Clover. There was a faint sound of jingling bells.
Do you know where you are?
Asked the stranger. Clover turned, trying to track her captor. After a moment, she replied, I'm in the long-abandoned mines beneath the great keep of Unicornia. The stranger laughed, and stamped a tattoo of approval.
Well done, child. You caught the scent of mining dust, and felt the well-worn ruts of the mining carts under your hooves. Well done. I am proud of you.
And you also do not sense the heavy resistance of the walls around you.
Resistance to your magic. A trick and a trap in these ancient times. It's the residue, you see, of the gems that we tore from the flesh of the land.
Stowe is obdurate, enduring,
and spiteful. The land hates us, you see.
The stranger circled Clover, passing between the prisoner and the audience like a dark moon, eclipsing her.
We've always been diggers, we unicorns. Poking, prying, cutting, seeking the treasures in the darkest depths, the secrets in the black places, erically unconcerned that something in the black places might be hungry for us.
The stranger stepped nearer to Clover, not so much advancing into light as drawing the shadows closer.
In the dark, I have discovered a great secret, and it devoured me. I rejoice in this, because I am relieved of foolish hope.
Oh, be silent, fool! Cried Clover. Begone! You tired me! Your cant is less than that of a novice, terrified of our first glimpse of the realm undying.
And yet here you are, helpless, sneered the stranger, at my mercy.
What is it you want of me? Demanded Clover. The stranger ordered close to her prisoner now.
What do I want of you? She asked. Why, nothing. Precisely nothing. No secret, no spell, no word, no movement. All I need of you is your absence. Then all of my plans are complete.
There was a soft jingling of golden bells. Who are you? Shouted Clover. You who cannot be who you pretend to be, monster! The stranger walked up into the light at Sarah's stage.
Of course I am. I can always be who I pretend to be, she hissed. And now...
The stranger abruptly snatched off her hoof and revealed her face. The face of Clover the Clever, twisted with madness. I'm you! The stranger walked into the darkness, followed by jingling of bells. In an instant, the stage went black. While the audience gasped, the crew ran to pull Clover off the stage. Big Magatos pulled off her hood. Okay, he asked, as the rest of the crew removed her bonds. Minnie went flashed a brilliant smile and nodded.
So, how did I do?
Director Death smiled. Pretty well. The hoof helped muffle your voice just enough, so that the audience never noticed the slits.
And my next scene?
Minnie asked. Das winked. Your next scene will be historic. The house lights were down, but the stage brilliantly lit. A thick carpet of fog moved uneasily over the boards, while heavy clouds drifted slowly on the wires across the set. Mr. Breezy's effects crew wafted tufts of smoke over the stage, giving the set a sense of space and movement. From a great distance came the howl of Wendigos. Up in her sound booth, Final Scratch set the needle to the turntable. The Thunderbirds are go! She thought gleefully. Down in the orchestra pit, Octavia grimaced. Pre-recorded music. The idea. Still. She glanced at the other members of her quartet. Let's add some richness to the production, shall we? Ready? On. Now! The riot of Valkyrie swelled and filled the hall. Commander Hurricane, Derby Hooves, and Private Pansy, Skidaloo, swooped onto the set and leveled off and soared. As a practical matter, although both Pegasi were Pegasi, both flew on harnesses. One good, real flat would carry the Pegasus completely off stage, and hovering in place would look ridiculous to any pony with wings. So, the Pegasi relied on the skillful wire work to move them onto their marks on the stage, while the actors mimic convincing fight postures. From the wings, Rainbow Dash watched intently, looking for flaws. Beside her stood Twilight Sparkle, ready, as ever, to lecture. On stage, Commander Hurricane started proudly.
Be alert, Private Pansy, she ordered. You never know where the enemies might be hiding.
Alarmed, Private Pansy fired this way and that, searching for enemies. But in the end, she returned to Commander Hurricane puzzled.
I don't see any threats, Commander. Just snow.
Hurricane turned. Her expression was masked by her great helm.
Settle voice, she said. Private, we've been hunted since we left Pegasopolis. Prepare to fight well, and if necessary, die well.
Out of the vapor that covered the stage, there arose monsters. Lumpy, bumping shapes, steps, snails, and twists in costume. Capered beneath Hurricane and Posy. From beneath the clouds, the four creations of Tooth and Claw, Miss Charlie and Silver Spoon, threatened and mocked the travelers. Other distorted animal shapes drifted across the stage, modeled by Rarity and Pinkie Pie, propelled by Mr. Breezy's fans. When Commander Hurricane hefted her spear and stabbed at one, it burst like a balloon. But then others came, 2, 4, then a dozen swarming towards the pair. Hurricane and Pansy hovered back to back, striking furiously with their spear, while the cloud monsters just pranced and guffawed at their struggle. You understand, Twilight whispered, in a sound behind the stage, that there were no real cloud monsters. Hurricane made no mention of them in her Appalachia. They were invented in the layer writers.
I think I know about clouds, Twilight. Jeez, replied Rainbow Dash. When you spend as much time as I have working with them, you get to know them pretty well.
But here's the thing. The shapes of clouds are funny sometimes. You look at them and see things. This one looks like a bunny, right? This one looks like a tree. Eventually you realize that their shapes aren't out there. They're in here. She tapped her head. Maybe I don't know the right way to say this, but look what's going on here. Pansy only sees clouds and snow, okay? But Hurricane sees monsters. Her failure, the shame to her family, the death of her tribe. Her mighty spear is useless, because she fights Faboon Winter, a monster that cannot be slain, because it has no heart. Her soul is painted everywhere across the sky, because she can't escape herself. Rainbow Dash hugged herself. I felt that way sometimes. Like every pony could see who I am, except me. Twilight looked at her friend. You've thought a lot about her, since you played the role, she whispered. Rainbow Dash nodded. Originally, I just wanted to write this little story about Hurricane and Pansy, about the relationship at this moment. You're separated by rank, class, and caste, Rainbow Dash said softly, spreading her full hopes. Yet, they've eaten together, birthed together, fought and fled together. Strangers, yet closer than sisters. Hurricane, driven by duty and fear, is plunging into the depths of her soul, and probably to her doom. And Pansy follows her. Quiet, mysterious, private Pansy. Pansy followed her into the storm. Hurricane leads, not knowing where to go. And Pansy follows, knowing only that her place is beside Hurricane. Rainbow Dash shrugged. I don't know. Maybe that sounds stupid. But seems very romantic to me. I guess I stink as a writer, so I went back to retelling the Hearth Warming Eve. That's close enough for me. Twilight was thoughtful for a while. I would like to read that story, Rainbow, she said. Rainbow shrugged. Maybe later. I've got work to do now. Look! Commander Hurricane was charging about the stage, stabbing, thrusting, and slicing frantically with her spear at the cloud shapes. Private Pansy struggled to stay near Hurricane's side and poke at anything that looked threatening, but her most frightening looks were directed towards her commander. The cloud monsters danced and mocked. The Wendigos roared. And still the strange cloud shapes came on, even larger and more twisted than before. At last, Commander Hurricane could tolerate no more. Enough! She shouted, tearing off her tall helm, looking at the uncaring storm, tears streaming down her face.
Come at me! Kill me if you will, but spare my people!
Clouds parted from the heavens. A shaft of light shone upon Commander Hurricane, burned upon her brow. She hovered, worn and gaunt amidst the clouds. Her eyes were amber, mane gold, her coat the gray of the thunderclouds. She held aloft the spear of Bellerophon and screamed,
My blood for my tribe! My heart for my family! My spirit for their safety! What ransom can I pay that will let my people live? I will give you all that I am, flesh, bone, and honor. I, Hurricane of the House of Bellerophon, pledge this, only if you spare my folk. I beg you. I beg you. Please.
But the cloud monsters just laughed. It danced about her while the Wendigos bellowed. The clouds shifted. The light dimmed. Commander Hurricane grimly set her jaw out and put on her heavy helm. She motioned to Private Pansy with the spear of her illustrious grandsire. The two of them flew on into the endless, merciless winter. The stage went dark. After a heartbeat, every pony in the Ponyville Town Hall began to stamp. Not raucously, not loudly, but slowly and with quiet dignity. They applauded Derpy and Scootaloo, but they also honored the memory of the doomed Commander Hurricane and her faithful Private Pansy, both of whom now lived again in their hearts. Twilight was breathless.
I still can't believe that's Derpy. I thought she was joking when she told me that you had cast her for the part Commander Hurricane, but I was so wrong. She's amazing. I knew that Derpy was perfect for this role as soon as I heard her first reading, whispered Dash. Do you know why? Because Derpy is not afraid to make herself a fool in public. She'll take risk, put everything she has of her in stage, and dare anyone to laugh.
Derpy's braver than I am, admitted Rainbow Dash. She's not afraid to lose.
Derpy, hi!
Twilight Sparkle said, approaching the little Pegasus backstage as he rested.
Miss Sparkle, hi!
Said Derpy. For a moment she was her usual self. A smiling timber, amber eyes bright. Then Derpy faded and shrank back into herself. She nibbled a crust of bread and sipped some water.
She's lost so much weight,
thought Twilight. Derpy had always been delicate, but now she was so frail.
I was very, very moved by your performance, Derpy,
Twilight said hesitantly.
Thanks, Miss Sparkle. I always did my best for you and Ponyville,
she said. Again, the embers in her eyes flared up feverishly to fade away. Scootaloo galloped.
Miss Hooves, I found some apple juice for you. You should drink this. Apple Bloom brought this down tonight just for you, fresh from the farm. She added a few things Mr. Cora gave to make you strong. Please, just drink a little.
Scootaloo danced around Derpy with a worried look. She glanced up at Twilight.
Make her drink this. Your Twilight, please.
Scootaloo looked desperate. Derpy gently pushed the cup away and cradled Scootaloo's face between her hooves. She smiled.
You have been such a good friend. In my worst moments, you made me laugh. When I fall, I beg you to take my spear. For one sunrise only. Hold it high in memory of me. Then cast it aside and forget. Forget me. For I have killed everything I have ever loved.
Scootaloo looked confused and scared.
Commander Hurricane, listen to orders,
said Princess Twilight Sparkle. Derpy, tired, sad, and drawn, pulled herself to attention. Twilight Sparkle looked at Derpy sternly.
As your princess, I command you, drink!
Without a second thought, the good soldier drank Socorro's potion. After a moment, Derpy smiled.
Well, that was good.
Finally, the lights in Derpy's eyes came on and stayed on. Scootaloo rushed forward to hug her.
You Scoots,
laughed Derpy, hugging her back.
We did okay, didn't we? You were great.
Miss Hooves, Scootaloo began.
Derpy,
corrected Derpy Hooves.
Derpy,
you were awesome, exclaimed Scootaloo.
Thanks, Scoots. Hey, why don't you get yourself a friend and a sire right over there? Go on.
Scootaloo cast a backwards glance at Derpy, smiled, then trotted toward the concession table.
Such a good girl,
said Derpy, looking after her. Twilight Sparkle approached Derpy Hooves. How did you do it? She asked. How did you immerse yourself so much into the character of Commander Hurricane?
It was easy, Miss Sparkle, said Derpy. I just imagined those mean old Wendigos trying to hurt my family, and I got angry. Really, really angry. Angry enough to just throw myself out and do, well, bad things. I guess I understand Commander Hurricane a bit.
Still, I'm happy this play will be over soon, because I'm getting tired of seeing you so angry and upset all the time.
Yeah. Commander Hurricane must have felt like this all through her trials. Imagine that! Muff it up, Derpy offered. I can't eat this. So roll, you know.
Last chapter. Clover the Clever in the Heart of Fire.
So, declaimed the mayor, the three tribes searched to find a new land to nourish the peoples.
Madam Mayor told the story of the discovery of paradise, a bright green land of brilliant blue skies and sparkling rivers, the brown soul, Redolia fertility, dancing white clouds, the snowy places that offer treasures and secrets.
They found this green and pleasant land, untouched by the snows, but sadly not long untouched by distrust.
Madam Mayor spoke of the acrimony of the three tribes and the blizzard that followed them.
In the end, The leaders of the 3 tribes collected into a tiny cave where their anger exploded.
Commander Hurricane was the first to enter the cave.
So, this is where my journey ends, she whispered. In the dark, under the ground. That my life has come to this. Commander?
Asked Private Pansy, entering beside her. Hurricane straightened, pulled back her shoulders, and tidied her wings.
It's nothing, Private. I will fight to the last. To the very last. For me, even this small ground will be Pegasus for a time. Come, attend me.
In the orchestra pit, Octavia signaled to a quartet. They turned as one of the 10 strains of Luna and Shentia. The bear advanced into the cave, followed by Princess Platinum and Clover the Clever.
It's small and untidy, yes,
declared Princess Platinum, glancing about haughtily,
but as the seat of power of the Principality of Nova Unicornia, it may suffice.
I'm sure it will, Your Highness, replied Clover, once we rid ourselves of these interlovers. Platinum blinded her eyes.
Yes, we still have to do something about that, shan't we?
Clover bowed. They entered the cave and settled opposite the Pegasi.
Caves! I love caves. Do you crave caves? Caves are my faves!
Exclaimed Chancellor Puddinghead.
You know, Smart Cookie, I was born in a cave that I built with my own hoofs.
Really, Your Chancellor Slip? Asked Smart Cookie.
Nope!
Grinned Puddinghead as he bounced into the middle of the cave, followed by her advisor. A chill, blue light infiltrated the chamber. From without came the voice of the Wendigos. The 3 tribes suddenly regarded each other. We ought to try and make friends with them, Your Chancellor Slip, said Marcus Cookie.
Smart Cookie, give me your hoof,
said Chancellor Puddinghead sweetly. Well, okay, but why? Smart Cookie said, preferring her hoof. Puddinghead forced Cookie's hoof down, hard, painfully. Then she released it. Smart Cookie smacked herself aside the face.
Stop hurting yourself!
Puddinghead laughed.
That's what happens when you hold out your hoof,
Puddinghead said, suddenly very, very serious.
Here's the problem,
Puddinghead said quietly.
We can't grow food in the cave. We need land, sun, and water. And these ponies,
she nodded towards the Pegasi and unicorn groups,
are in the way. We have to get rid of them.
Private Pansy paced the cavern. She looked back at Commander Hurricane, then scratched at the border between herself and the other ponies in the cave. This is New Pegasopolis, she said, mostly to herself, close to tears. This black space, below the earth. She encountered a small stone, and thoughtlessly moved it aside. Unicorn and Earth ponies and parties were furious. We cannot allow this incursion to our territory, hissed Clover the Clever. Do not give them even an inch, or you will appear weak. Princess Platinum held her head high and declared, That rock is clearly on the Unicornia side of the cave, and it belongs to us. There, I claim this and all its precious jewels for all the mighty kingdom of Unicornia.
I claim this rock for my people,
said Commander Hurricane, standing beside Private Pansy, scuffling back to her side.
Oh, you found my rock. Give it here.
Dignified Chancellor Puddinghead said, seizing the stone.
Sedimentary, limestone, something interesting inclusions,
she noted, looking at it carefully. She blew thoughtfully into her bubble pipe.
But otherwise, it's just mine. Because, well, Earth Pony, rock, duh.
You groundwalkers are so stupid, shouted Hurricane. You cloudwalkers are brutes, insisted Platinum.
You guys are just weird, so that's that,
declared Puddinghead. The cold blue light pressed against the ponies. The Wendigos at last appeared, over the ponies' heads, capturing like the souls of the dead in the weird shadows. And inexorably, the entrance to the cavern closed, covered in ice, turning to the chamber into a tomb.
Okay, that's it. We're screwed,
Chancellor Puddinghead, hungry down inside herself.
No, please, no,
cried Private Pansy. She battered herself against the wall of ice, to no avail. I can't die this way, under the earth, away from the sky!
Private, compose yourself. Attend me,
ordered Hurricane. Shamefully, Pansy returned to her commander's side. Hurricane embraced Pansy.
Let's end this together. If you see me in Elysium, raise a cut to me, my beloved comrade.
All hope is lost,
whispered Clover the Clever to Princess Platinum.
Now think of only our people, Princess, in this dark time. Let the other tribes to fend for themselves.
Let them die,
hissed Clover. Princess Platinum rounded on Clover, erased. I hate you! I've always hated you! You have set my place with my father! You whisper and poison everything around you! I only want my folk to live and be happy, and yet for days you've only expected them death, death, and death! Monster! Excuse me for laying, said Smart Cookie, trying for her. They ain't Clover, I reckon. Not the real Clover. I've been watching you, and you just ain't right. I've read all of Clover's work. She's smart and kind. You are not. You sounds all wrong, too, ain't? Don't turn away. I always know how you stay away from the light. I got no quarrel with changelings, but you all face up now. Who are you? Clover the Clever chuckled. She walked toward the sound of golden bells.
Smart Cookie, she said, shaking her head. You are the one I always feared most. The rest of you are too stupid.
She glared at Princess Platinum.
To look beyond the ends of your own noses. But now that I've won, what's the point in games?
Behold! Behold your master! With a flash, bang, and sound of smoke, Clover vanished, then replaced by...
Starswell's defeated,
said Princess Platinum.
My father's most trusted advisor!
The audience gasped.
I hate this, Twilight thought. Starswell was introverted and eccentric, sure, but he deserves to be treated better than this.
Yes. Hissed Starswirl, flinging his starry cloak around him. The bells on his hat kept tingling maniacally. For too long, he declared, panting about the stage, have I suffered the follies of lesser folk, smaller minds, little ponies. He sneered.
Wow, Lyra's really getting into it, thought Twilight. She looks good with those bushy eyebrows and that little beard.
I found the Wendigos, starving and afraid, in one of the dark corners of Tartarus. I raised them up. I freed them. Oh, my children, what music you make! The Wendigos bellowed and pranced, circling closer to the leader of the three tribes. I used my knowledge and wealth of the Unicorn Kingdom, said Starswill, to breed mistrust amongst the tribes. It was so easy. Your hatred of one another was a flower that only needed a little care to bloom. Of what here there was enough. My delicate Wendigos battered on your fear, and anger grew strong.
Now we all give our little speeches, join together, and have a big fight with Starswirl. Once he loses his magic hat, he loses all of his powers, and we save the world.
Sighed Twilight.
Oh, Rainbow, I hope for better than this from you.
Starswirl gloated. Now you're all here in this tiny little place where I can control you all. The snows will sweep into this world. Then my legions of fire zombies will emerge from their hidden barrows and cover all the hands with hot, swarming evil.
Fire zombies, what?
Blurred Twilight, startled out of character. This isn't the way we rehearsed this, Lyra! Aren't they delightful? Exclaimed Starswirl, tapping his forehead. They're like regular zombies, but on fire!
Lyra!
Thought Twilight, what are you doing? Then a hooded figure appeared at the mouth of the cave. With a bright flash of light, the ice burst into a snowy cloud.
Liar! Imposter!
Shouted the figure, stepping inside. Oh, what's this now? Said Starswirl, annoyed.
It's I, the true Clover,
declared the newcomer, pulling down her hood. Lyra Heartstings tried proudly onto the stage.
How does he do that?
Wondered Twilight. She looked at Starswirl, baffled.
Minuet, is that you? But
how did you switch places? Did you know a teleport spell?
How did you escape my dungeon? Snarled Starswirl.
If I told you about the weaknesses of your prison,
snarled Clever,
that wouldn't be very clever, now would it?
Starswirl the Bearded rushed forward to stand over his apprentice. I would not be mocked. Bow down before your master, child, thundered Starswirl. I raised you up for nothing. You are no more than a rock farmer's daughter with a speck of talent. How dare you challenge me?
Because I know who you really are,
said Clover, as he suddenly swept up Starswirl's hat. Starswirl had two mismatched horns, those of a goat and a deer. Discord! Exulted Clover. The audience gasped, as did the crested crew. The sleep of Starswirl bared and fell away. It grew, length upon length, into the serpentine form of the dreadful draconic quest. Discord, the great and terrible. Bellowed the Lord of Chaos. Down in the front row, Fireside looked to her left. She discovered that Discord's seat was now occupied by an adorable, button-eyed Discord plushie. Fireside clutched it all to herself and looked back to the stage, confused and alarmed. Twilight fired up her horn. No time to retrieve the elements of harmony. I'll do what I can to protect every pony, she thought desperately. Clover the Clever, sneered Discord. You would have done better to cower in a hole with your master. You will beg for mercy before I am done with you. Twilight startled.
Wait, is Discord acting?
You cannot corrupt me, villain, for as long as I wield this, the Heart of Fire. Clover held aloft a heart-shaped crimson gem, drawn from the suits of the Crescent Mountains, blessed by the sun and moon, illuminated by love and powered by friendship. She cried, There is no evil I cannot overcome. Discord snatched at the gem. He flipped it around and held it to his eye. He even gave it a thoughtful lick. He smirked. Do you think this tiny bauble will conquer me, powered by friendship? Is it? Really? He clutched the gem in his eagle claw. You disappoint me, Clever. You really do, child. He has such plans for you, but you fall into hope and foolishness, much like your master. You are ridiculous. Look around you. There is no friendship here. Discord swept his lion paw around the cave. Look at yourself. Discord stalked around the ponies, pointing at them, one by one, mocking. There is no generosity here, only avarice. No nobility in that one, only pride. No leadership in her, only folly. No wisdom, only cunning. No loyalty, only cowardice. No honesty, only expedience. Discord stood in the middle of them and roared. How do you think you could deny me to turn away my Wendigos? We are your guests. You invited us in. The blue light of the cavern nearly covered them all. The Wendigos celebrated him. Commander Hurricane trailed forward. Her expression was stark and fell. She raised her spear. Then she knelt swiftly and laid her spear before the assembly.
I will fight no more forever, she said quietly. I have hurt my people with my pride. My family suffers because of my anger. I, Hurricane of the House of Belethron, surrender to my sisters here. Command me. I beg you.
Hurricane looked at her great helm and tossed it aside. Princess Platinum advanced and knelt near Hurricane. She said,
I know I've been petty and selfish. Vast treasures have been arrayed before me, and I only desired more, while I ignored the greatest treasures of the world, my people. I have loved no one and liked myself even less. Now I, Platinum of the Unicorn Kingdom, cast away my own life, and will try with all my heart to become a good and generous princess. From this night on, I will live for the prosperity of my people and for all of ponykind.
Platinum sat her crown. Spark Cookie looked at Prince on her pudding head.
What?
Responded Pudding Head indignantly. Spark Cookie tilted her head. Pudding Head rolled her eyes.
Oh, fine.
She tossed away her hat and plucked out between Hurricane and Platinum.
That was a pretty nice hat,
she said wistfully.
But I have to admit, I only became Chancellor because Mom and Dad and my focus group told me it would make me more popular. Now I, Prunella of the Pudding Heads, give away my really, really nice hat and promise to try to get ponies to like me just for myself. All I've ever wanted, really, was to gather together with lots of good friends and celebrate our lives. Just like tonight. I love all you guys!
She exclaimed, hugging Platinum and Hurricane. Ouch! Discord said, looking at the eagle claw, dropping to stone. The heart of fire burned. The gem, now glowing brightly, ascended. Its warm, glossy glow threw back the icy blue. The cave, once so dark and oppressive, was transformed into a great hall, full of life and merriment. The surly Wendigos quailed before its light and fled. Pansy stood beside Hurricane and slightly stroked her back. Hurricane wept. Clover clasped beside Platinum. Clover circled and pulled Clover close. Smart Cookie and Pudding Head just glanced at each other and grinned knowingly. The six of them looked around the circle and found only their loving sisters looking back. The heart of fire blazed. Discord hissed and twisted like a serpent before its light. Desperately, he tried to bat the flaming gem away, but he could not bear its brilliant glow. Ah! Away! Take it away! He shrieked. Its light pierces my heart, my very soul. Oh, woe! Take it away. Great treasures I will give you. All the kingdoms of the world will be yours, if you spare me this.
I'm sorry, Discord, truly. But Fibula has taken everything we've had, even our sins. We have nothing left to offer you but our friendship.
Discord squirmed and cried, his claws glancing at the black, uncaring skies. No! Gasp, gasp, gasp! Oh! All of my devious schemes exposed, all my dastardly plans undone. Curse you, Culver the Clever, for you have defeated me. Curse you, all of you little ponies, until the end of days. Discord writhed like mad thing he was, spinning across the stage until he collapsed into a panting heap. He struggled to rise, fell, struggled to rise again, but only slumped to the ground. He shivered and shook, then seemed to shrink and wither beneath the brilliant light of the heart of fire. All of my beautiful wickedness, he sobbed, and with that last painful cry, he fell back and lay still. The stage was silent. Is he... began Private Fancy. Suddenly Discord heaved and gasped. Oh, why is it so dark? Mother, father, is that you? He called, piteously, clutching the air. I hear your sweet voices. Do you hear me? Your baby's coming home. Discord crawled desperately to Professor Ponyville and drew her close. He made one anxious attempt to express his soul so that he might finally be understood. Pickle. Barrel. He whispered back. Discord collapsed onto his back. A white lily sprang up from his chest. His long tongue rolled from his mouth as black X's appeared over his eyes. A bucket manifested beside his coat leg. He kicked it and lay still. For a moment, Smart Cookie stepped forward. Well, I guess as he said. Then the inert form of Discord began to rise and glowed. Oh, for goodness sake! Thought Twilight Sparkle. Discord's body ascended. He was transformed. Now he wore a robe of glittering samite. A heart appeared in his lighted paw, and he pointed gingerly with his eagle claw. His vast wings flapped as he drifted upward, a sad yet beautiful expression on his face. A tiny halo appeared over his head. And then finally, Discord touched the heart of fire and winked out. Madame Marigold looked into the lights, uncertainly, as if afraid Discord would come plunging back down. After a few heartbeats, he didn't, so she continued. Revenant! Under the feet of Discord, the 6 ponies gathered in sorority, and kept the heart of fire alive with their tales of affection and humor, with the songs that became the winter carols we all sang to the gay. At last, the ice receded, the snow melted, as did their hearts. The 3 layers, and the trusted advisors vowed to live together in harmony in the new land, and together they named the new land Equestria! Shouted the audience, crew and cast. After the curtain fell, the actors came out to receive their applause. Diamond Tiara and Truffle will try out first, followed by Miss Shirley and the rest of her students. Silver Spoon, Twist, Snails, and Snips made woohoo noises. Truffle kissed Diamond's cheek. Diamond blushed. The audience laughed and stamped. Twilight Sparkle tried out, holding her head high, but the applause grew louder as Lyra Heartstrings and Minuet took the stage. Pinkie Pie and Applejack walked out and did a bit of business, juggling the helms and hats and crowns between themselves. Every pony laughed. Derpy Hose came out timidly, pushed along by Scootaloo. They held each other as Ponyville cheered. But when Discord came out, the crowd thundered. Every pony in Ponyville Town Hall stood and shook the hall with their approval. Discord was taken back. Hello, I'm evil, he said, waving. You all kind of hate me, you remember? But the Ponyville audience loudly stamped their approval and welcomed him, cheering. And Fluttershy was loud as a fall, jumping and hooting with delight. Discord faced the applause of Ponyville, and the Lord of Chaos blinked. Oh, well paid, Ponyville, he said quietly, rubbing some dust from his eyes. I suppose I'll just have to start looking out for you little ponies. You're so entertaining. And with the rest of the company, Discord bowed to the rest of his friends in Ponyville. Rainbow Dash was the last to come out, pushed on stage by Mr. Breezy and Big Macintosh. She smiled, embarrassed as Ponyville applauded. One more brow, and then it's over. If you're going to do this, girl, now's the time. Twilight sold to herself. She took a deep breath and pushed herself forward. She loosened the strap that kept her wings hidden from under her gown. She advanced to the front of the company. Princess Twilight Sparkle spread her wings before all of Ponyville. Everybody, she called,
May I have your attention, please?
Princess! Your Highness! Princess Sparkle!
This is who I am now, she thought. I am Ponyville. I am more than myself. Head up, girl. Stand tall. These are your friends. Hug them with your wings, as Derpy would. Every pony, thank you, began Twilight. Speaking as one of the company and crew of Hearth Warming Eve, I am warned by your appreciation. We will hold your approval in our hearts forever. Go on, she told herself. But if I may, I'd like to share something personal.
Twilight Sparkle folded her wings. Under the lights, she appeared small. She took another deep breath and revealed her soul.
You are all my strength and heart, she said. I bless Princess Celestia for leading me to you. Here in Ponyville is the dream of Hearth Warming Eve made real. Ponies of the sky, of magic and earth, we live together in love and tolerance. Every morning I awake, excited to have one more day in Ponyville, the best place I can imagine. I am Ponyville, and Ponyville will always be a part of me. Since I first came here, some things have changed.
Twilight fluttered her wings, and the eyes laughed quietly.
My friends have become stronger.
She smiled at down Fluttershy, front row, cussing her Discord plushie.
Ponyville has become stronger.
She glanced at Applejack and Pinkie Pie, who winked back.
I have become stronger, because of the wisdom, caring, and friendship you have given me.
Twilight Sparkle stepped up to the edge of the stage.
I'm a little scared right now. What do these mean? What kind of princess will I be? Celestia and Luna are as different as, well, night and day. I've known Cadence since I was a little filly, yet there's an ineffable aura of mystery around her that confounds me. In such an illustrious company, who am I? May I ask you a favor of you all, please? In the new year, help me learn who I should be. Help me become even stronger. Help me to become a good princess.
The audience was silent for a moment. Every pony clutched at each other, thoughtfully. Then, from the princess booth, a voice exclaimed,
Well, of course we help! You darn turn we will!
The audience exploded with laughter. Your darn turn we will! They cried as one. Of course we'll help, Twilight! Princess! Twilight.
My friends, Twilight wept. You are all my friends.
Down in the orchestra pit, Octavia looked at little Sweetbelle and heard Childer's chorus. Good on, dear.
She encouraged. Now's the time.
Sweetbelle looked at uncertain.
Are you sure, Miss Octavia?
Octavia smiled. Even in Canterlot, it's always like this. Ponies are just ponies. Go on. Princess of Twilight, of all of Ponyville, needs you.
Sweetbelle straightened her robe and stepped forward. She nodded to Apple Bloom, Pipsqueak, and the other kids. She began to sing, and soon the rest joined in. Eventually did the entire audience, cast and crew. And you out there can sing along with us.
The fire of friendship lives in our hearts. As long as it burns, we cannot drift apart. Though quarrels arise, the numbers are few. Laughter and singing will see us through. We are a circle of pony friends. A circle of friends will be to the very end.
Then there was laughter and hugs, and some in the audience realized, joyfully, that Hearth Warming Eve was not about ancient characters in a silly play, but about themselves, right here, right now. So, in the Ponyville Town Hall, the three tribes embraced, laughed, and went out for warm muffins, strudel, and sweet cider and cocoa.
Was that authentic or what? Squealed Rainbow Dash. I cast Discord as Discord! Tut that, Canterlot Theatrical Society!
Rainbow Dash and Twilight stood up on the steps of Ponyville Town Hall under Luna's brilliant winter night and paused for a moment just to breathe. The happy crowds were gone. Miss Cheerily had ordered her students to their homes. Big Macintosh had collected Granny Smith and his sisters, singing to them as they plodded home. Derpy had gently asked Scootaloo to spend the night with her and her family, and Scootaloo agreed.
Okay, you, Discord, spill,
commanded Twilight Sparkle to Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash bounced gleefully and grinned.
Originally, I just wanted to do a retelling of the Hearth Warming Eve story, but with 20% more oomph, more heart, more drama, you know, like in the Daring Duplex. But when I invited Fluttershy to audition for the play, Fluttershy told me she could be in the play because she would be in the audience escorting Discord.
Discord told her something about wanting to see the play so he could get caught up on current events. Discord is way old. I knew I had to do something. I think I know a show-off when I see one, Twilight. And Discord is a major show-off. The only thing he likes better than his goofy gags is an audience. I think that's why, although he's been pretty darn mean in the past, he hasn't physically hurt any pony. He needs ponies around to laugh at his jokes and to give him applause. If Discord had been sitting in the audience, he would have become, I don't know, restless eventually, made a mess of things just to get attention. So I brought him into the show and gave him a sweet part, so that he would want the play to succeed. There's the same Derry Do used to mess with the bad guy in the Skull of Yorick, if you recall. But I wanted it to be a surprise. A twist ending, right? Da da da! So I stuck Starswirl the Beard into the play as the bad guy, so that all of you in the cast would think he was a villain. Only me, Lyra, Minuet, and Discord knew the truth. And I think Discord did great! Iridescent laughed, jumped up, and did a barrel roll. Princess Twilight felt humble. She stepped forward and embraced Rainbow Dash. Discord did great, she said. You did great. You're both amazing. Rainbow Dash looked at Twilight quizzically. Duh. Rainbow Dash! Rhymes with awesome! Look it up. They laughed together, and then went back inside for warm apple fritters and hot cider. The morning after Hearth Warming Eve pageant found Twilight Sparkle once more at the cozy table by the window in Sugar Cube Corner. Derpy Hooves had already come and gone, clutching a bag of muffins. She winked and laughed at Twilight before she looked fiercely into the winter sky. May the sun shine warmly upon you and your family, my friend, said Twilight. She sipped her hot chocolate. Twilight heard the chatter of tiny hooves on the stairs. Looked up to see the Taro twins, Pound and Pumpkin Cake, tumbling into the room. The twins spied Twilight and stopped in astonishment.
Twilight?
Exclaimed Pound, baby Pegasus.
Sprinkle!
Squeaked Pumpkin, the baby unicorn. They both laughed as they charged across the bakery toward her.
Now, why are you two up so early?
She asked, clutching the two eager, bouncing children.
Come up here and sit by Auntie Twilight. That's right. Uh-oh. Some pony needs to blow her nose. Okay. Here's a paper napkin. Big blow. Good. Now another one. Good job. How are you doing, Pumpkin? You're fine? All right. Now, since you're both being so good, Auntie Twilight will give you both a treat.
Twilight broke off 2 small morsels of her cinnamon bun, gave them to Pumpkin and Pound. The twins strolled happily as they munched. Very slowly, so as not to startle them, Twilight Sparkle spread her wings and used them to draw the children close to her.
How's that now? She asked. You warm enough?
Pumpkin cooed with delight. Pound regarded Twilight's wings with awe. They both snuggled up against her, warm and safe. Derpy was right, of course, Twilight thought. Ling hung aside abashed. Twilight hesitated for a moment, then said softly,
Sunshine, sunshine, ladybugs awake. Here comes Pound and Pumpkin Cake.
The twins giggled and wriggled beside her. That was how Carrot Cake found them. Twilight Sparkle quietly sipping her hot chocolate, while his children popped up beneath the warm blanket of her hugs. My apologies, Twilight, Carrot Cake said. These little rascals are so rambunctious these days. He stood, shaking his head ruefully at the twins.
It's perfectly all right, Mr. Cake, said Twilight. It's wonderful to have a little visit with them.
Pound and Pumpkin looked at each other smugly. Carrot Cake looked at his shoes for a moment, then stood up straight, squared his shoulders and said, If it's all right, Twilight, I'd like to ask a favor. We got a big catering order today. The new year, you understand. Pies and cakes and new bread. Me and the Missus and Pinky will be awfully busy trying to fill it, while also managing the store. It'd also be a big help if you could, maybe, look after the little ones for a few hours this afternoon. Princess Twilight Sparkle of Ponyville looked up at Mr. Carrot, and from the bottom of her heart she said,
Thank you, sir.
I love to.
Oh, I cannot upvote this thing enough.
This was a pretty sweet and good story. Yeah, I know. Not as long as some of the other stuff I've done, and it didn't need to be, really. This did what it needed to. Something really big that I kind of liked, and kind of leads perfectly into Season 4. It reminds us of who Twilight is, despite her changes. Well, let me go full on with this. It shows that Twilight may have changed into a princess. She may have grown, but there are still things about her that are still the same. She's still a bookworm. She still is a studyholic, paranoid, OCD, and all that. That's who she is, and that's who she will be. But she has changed. She's learned not to take expectations, and she's learned to see beyond, and she's learned to accept the surprises. Things like, Fluttershy taking down dragons, Discord being, well, nice. But this story's also about changes, I've noticed. Things like Fluttershy becoming more assertive, Rainbow Dash liking books. The list goes on. And I think that's one of the things about Ponyville I like is, of course, the changes that the series has slowly taken over. Not just the wings and stuff like that, but more character-wise, as we've seen our characters grow from this. And I like Twilight's little speech at the end when she was talking about what kind of princess will be, because I feel like that really, really did apply itself well to the message of the fourth season finale. What was Twilight the princess of? What was she growing up to be? I mean, during that whole speech, I was playing You'll Play Your Part in my head. I don't know if you people were doing the same. But that's kind of why I picked this fic for Hearth Warming, not just because it followed the Hearth Warming pageant, but I feel like it was moving closely with a good Christmas story, or a good Christmas tale. It touches upon the fact that around this time we must remember the changes of our lives. What have we grown and changed and become? While at the same time, remember going back to the memories of what has stayed the same. What has happened to us and what will happen in the future? For Twilight, the question is simple. She may not know, but she knows that there are 5 mayors on there who are going to make any change in the future extraordinary. Well, join us next week, kids. It's going to probably make you cry. For this is the story of that pink pony who filled his heart with joy.
Hi, I'm Pinkie Pie. We met a few years ago.
You're that mayor. Next time, one Hearth Warming Eve. I'll see you then.